Why am I here? What is my purpose? Is there something really deeper beyond my existence? Undoubtedly, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He tells us within the Holy Quran, الَّذِي خَلَقَ الْمَوْتَ وَالْحَيَاةَ لِيَبْلُوَكُمْ أَيُّكُمْ أَحْسَنُ عَمَلًا. He says within the Holy Quran that He has created death and He has created life, such that He can put us through trials and see which one of us are going to do good deeds. There is a purpose beyond why I'm here. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala did not create us abathan, as He tells us within the Holy Quran. He didn't create us in vain. There undoubtedly is a purpose beyond my existence in this world on this very day. It's up to me to figure that out, to uncover my potential, to understand who exactly I am and why Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has placed me in this dunya. I have to fulfill responsibilities to Him and those around me. But through my experiences, through my day-to-day interactions and engagement with others, I'm seeking toward uncovering and unveiling all of those ambiguities such that I have a clear picture of why it is that I'm living in this world. Yes, in the service of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, undoubtedly. For we recite in Dua Kumair, Allahumma ij'alni min ahsani abidika nasiban indak wa aqrabihim manzilatan mink. Oh Allah, allow for me to be the closest in proximity to You and to have an elevated rank in Your eyes. Of course we want that from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. We have been created to undoubtedly be in a state of servitude to Allah Azza wa Jal. But how exactly am I to serve? That's up to me to think about, to reflect upon, and to navigate. But to realize again that we have some worth that's connected to us as an individual. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has chosen me to live in this world, and He has given me the privileges that I've been afforded. When we take a look at the life and the legacy of the best of creation, that's the Messenger Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, and his family, particularly those members of his closest household, Ali, Fatima, Hassan, and Hussein, peace and blessings be upon all of them, we see the sense of care and support that they offered to those around them. Yes, they spent moments in worship and obedience to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, but that worship and obedience of theirs was also transformative for those around them. What do I mean? When we take a look at the obedience of the Prophet and his family, we see that their worship in the darkness of night also transferred into caring for those in their community. Many times our perception of religion that all it is worshiping at night and fasting during the day. That's not the case. It's important for us to go out and make an impact in the world that we live in. Look how many people struggle today. Look how many people go through financial difficulties, are victims of domestic and sexual abuse and violence, who are going through a whole host of challenges around their relationships. The Prophet of God sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he sought toward caring for the most vulnerable within his community. I'll give you the example of the Messenger of God sallallahu alaihi wasallam in those earliest days within the holy city of Mecca. The first groups of individuals who converted to the religion of Islam are three. Amongst them women, amongst them slaves, and amongst them the poor. What's the common denominator behind these three groups of individuals? Every one of them were the outcasts and the most isolated within that early Meccan community. And if we fast forward 1400 plus years later, we see that women, we see that slaves, and we see that those who are financially impoverished in all of the definitions, in reality are also subjugated to the same challenges that were witnessed during the time of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. What does that mean? If I am a believer in the best of creation, and that is our Messenger Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, then I have a responsibility to also care for those same groups of individuals, to offering my time, my wealth, my support toward the disenfranchised, toward the marginalized, toward the isolated, and recognize that my worship at night should be something that transfers into my care for those around me during the day. Ali Zayn al-Abidin alayhi salam, who we know him for his worship and for his obedience. He is known as Zayn al-Abidin, Sayyid al-Sajidin. We know him for his dua, we know him for his supplication, we know him for his prayer. Yet what is so unique about Imam Ali Zayn al-Abidin is that he didn't only spend his night in worship. We see that in the holy city of Medina, after he passes away, there was an increase and a rise in homelessness across the city of Medina. And the Umayyad governor, he writes back to his caliph requesting funds towards supporting the poor in Medina. To which they write back to the governor of Medina that for the last several decades, you've never asked for any wealth, nor have you been concerned with the poor of Medina. To which he responds that that man from the lineage of the Prophet of God has passed away, meaning Ali Zayn al-Abidin. And we didn't have to care for the poor because he was there distributing food and worrying about their concerns. We, as followers of Muhammadin wa Ali Muhammad, the best of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala's creation, also have to own that responsibility to making sure that we care for our communities, to making sure that we're seeking toward making a difference in this world that so desperately needs it.